What is going on, guys? Jack here and welcome back to another episode of the Portsmouth Career Mode series. This is episode number 66, guys, and we're going to start today's episode off by going into the squad report. I didn't actually show it in the last episode, and I did actually mean to show it, but here you go. To any of those guys that do want to have a little look at the squad report, then we will be going through it now, looking at the players that have grown for this month. But before we get into this video, guys, I want to thank you for all the support that you did give me on the last episode. We managed to get well over 50 likes, and if we can do the same on this video, guys, that would be greatly appreciated, as it shows me you are enjoying this series and you do want it to continue. But we do have some nice growth in the side. As always, it's nice to see a very steady and slow progression, because that way the series lasts longer and it stays interesting, basically. And in a way, I'm happy that the players aren't growing too much. But at the same time, I would like to see a little bit of more of an improvement in some of the players. We are seeing some great improvement in some players like Matt Wilczynski and Jordan Ibe, and also Tartar, who hasn't even got a single game this season. But there are some other players that I am a little bit disappointed hasn't grown some more. Probably Saido Berahino being one of them. I know he's in bad form, but I expected him fully to be growing a little bit more than he has done. Hasn't even grown in a single attribute, and that is a little bit frustrating. But apart from that, we don't really have too much to show off with the squad report this month. And we will look at the league table there. You can see that we're currently sitting in 5th place, actually. After 10 games, we've got 5 wins, 2 draws and 3 losses. That is a really plausible record, I have to admit. I'm very happy with that, considering some of our championship rivals from last season, they're in the relegation zone. So really, we've been off to a flyer this season, and I was hoping to replicate that kind of form in this match against Norwich City here in the first game of today's episode. Norwich, they are a side that I don't know, were they promoted last season with us? Or they promoted 2 seasons ago. Regardless, they were a championship side, and they really haven't changed much of their team, to be honest with you. Got a lot of the original players in there, and to be honest, the only players that they have signed are players that are on the bench, which is a little bit strange. They don't start their new signings, and I don't really understand why, because that was a really good chance there by Norwich. But you know, they did sign a striker in the summer, and a good one at that. Had he been playing in this match, he probably would have finished that chance off. What a great chance that was for Norwich to take the lead. And really, in this match, there wasn't really too much going on until the 62nd minute, where we would get a chance. A very stale game really in the first half, and in the second half, more of the same was to come, although they would get some lovely passing play here in Norwich, as Becchio does find Lafferty there, but unfortunately their shot goes over the bar and out for a goal kick. Little bit disappointing effort from them. Again, they probably should have taken the lead there, but it wouldn't matter, as we'd get a really good chance here. Chalobah passing it to Jordan Ibe, and somehow out of nothing, we got a goal there out of completely nothing. Jordan Ibe is the man that does create the goal by himself, arguably, although that was a decent enough pass from Chalobah. He does a fake shot round the defender, and then he shoots to the near post past the goalkeeper, and he gets his first goal in the Premier League. He has really been a consistent performer this season in the Portsmouth team, and I was very happy with the way he played in this match, as well as the defenders. They were playing really well and allowed us to go on the counter-attack here, as again, Jordan Ibe manages to break through the defence, and he gets his second goal of the game in the 84th minute there. Really bad defending on the counter-attack. Norwich were pushing men forward, and that is what I find about the legendary AI. No matter what you do, as long as you score 1 goal, you're guaranteed to get another in the match, because the AI, they just seem to push so many bodies forward, trying to look for the equaliser, and a lot of the time it doesn't work, and you are able to counter-attack. And if you've got pacey players up front, you are going to have a whale of a time. And Jordan Ibe, he is certainly a pacey player, getting the second goal of the game and his second goal of the match there to make it 2-0. And if it wasn't enough, we would get another good chance in the match. Again, utilising that pace up front. This time it's Neil Morpay who cuts inside round the defender, and we make it 3-0 there. So really, we scored, 3 goals in the space of 10 minutes, which is absolutely ridiculous. Have no idea what the defence was doing, to be honest with you. The Norwich defence, I have no idea what they were doing. You look at that there, a simple fake shot, you know, that could have easily been on world class. But it isn't, it's on legendary, and it's just so simple and effective to get around the defender. However, their high pressing game would result in a goal there, and well, it was a little bit of a lucky goal, I have to admit, in the 90th minute there. a bit of a consolation goal really for Norwich, and that meant that we didn't get our clean sheet in this match. Heaton probably should have done a little bit better with the goal, or the shot on goal I should say. He kind of parried it into his own net. A little bit of a disappointing effort in goal there by Tom Heaton, and it could have easily been a 3-0 result here, but obviously it wasn't meant to be. They do get a consolation goal there late on, and it wasn't going to be any more than that, as we do go ahead and pick up a 3-1 result in this match. A very, very solid result in this match, and again, we continue our really, really good form in the first half of this season here in the Premier League. It's Neil Maupay getting one and Jordan Ibe getting the other two. Really, in the second half, we kind of exploded into life. No chances were going our way or Norwich's way in the first half as of that. And in the end, it's a 3-1 result. I'm very happy with that. And that does mean that we are pushed up the table even more, from 5th to about 3rd now. You can see there we are actually sitting in 3rd after 11 games there on 20 points, which is absolutely brilliant as we go into our first derby match here, and it will be against Southampton. So a very, very big game here, probably our biggest test of the season so far. Well, probably not our biggest test. We've come up against Chelsea, we've come up against Arsenal, but Southampton, they are the bitter rivals of Portsmouth. So in this match, I was hoping for a good performance. Considering we won with ease against Norwich, I was hoping that we would get a similar result here in this match against Southampton. Although I have to admit, they have a very, very strong lineup, and one that I was very afraid of in this match. Although the first chance in the match would fall to us here from a free kick 21 yards out, I decided to go for goal, and maybe in hindsight, maybe that wasn't the best of ideas, and you'll see why in a minute. You don't really score from that kind of range, and you see there that we do actually hit the wall and it goes behind for a corner. A really good chance there. Had I have done a bit of a different technique from that, then maybe I would have got a better chance on goal. But this time it would be Rowe. I'm not sure who this guy is, but he's causing all sorts of problems for my defence there, and almost getting the goal there had it not been for Heaton making a good save there. And into the 55th minute, a bit similar to the Norwich game, not too much going on until they'd get a good chance as they cross it into the box. First time looking for a man in the middle, and they do pick out their newly signed striker, which they did actually sign in the summer. And what a header that is. What a brilliant cross first time that is into the box, and a really, really good header there by the Southampton striker off the bar and in. No way I'm going to be defending against that 9 times out of 10. In fact, probably more like 99.9 times out of 100. Those kind of goals will never go in. And unfortunately, well, fortune wasn't my favour today. You can see there we got a good chance there with Polyat, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. We get a good chance though in the 90th minute. Maybe this is our chance to redeem ourselves here. And no, we get tackled there with Gardos, but it doesn't matter because we get an even better chance here. As well, I don't know who that was, but he passes it to Bigger Romana, and what a good opportunity that was. Had that been Bigger, well, someone else, not Bigger Romana, that's what I meant to say. Had that been someone like Saido Berahino, maybe Jordan Ibe, we probably would have finished that off, put it into the back of the net. But unfortunately it wasn't meant to be, and we end up losing our first derby match here against Southampton. A little bit of a disappointment because I thought it was an even match, and really Bigger Romana should have done better than he actually did late on in that match. A really poor finish from him, but I've only got myself to blame, and in the end we do, well, lose our first derby match against Southampton. I was hoping for a better result, but I guess not everything can go your way all the time, especially on Legendary. They got a bit of a lucky header in on goal, and in the end they actually picked up the 3 points, stole it away from us, and we would look for redemption as we come into the third and final game here against Stoke City, who, again, they're a team that really haven't changed too much of their lineup, to be honest, from their original lineup. A bit weird that Premier League teams don't seem to change their lineup whatsoever and make any transfers. What a good opportunity that was there, and they were really pounding our goal in the first 20 minutes here. Another good chance as they get it inside, and I do not know how they do not score in this passage of play. It seemed like my player actually tackled my other player, and it'd be Ness going for a shot, and had it not been for Polly out there making a crucial interception, I think that would have actually led to a goal, to be honest with you, and I was very, very lucky to get away with that. But in the 54th minute, they would get another chance here as Ness passes it down to Nzonzi, who goes for a shot there, and it just goes wide of the post. Had that been one of their strikers, probably would have been a goal. And again, well, fortune was my favour in this match. I'm saying that a lot, but again, they hit the crossbar this time. so unlucky in the first 60 minutes of the match, and they probably should have got a goal, maybe 2 or 3 goals to be honest. And well, in these kind of matches, you just got to get a bit of luck. That's all you got to do. Get the first goal of the game. Momentum then swings onto your side. This corner technique always seems to work for me, and it's John Anthony Brooks to head in for his first goal in a Portsmouth shirt. Very happy with that, and that corner routine does work 9 times out of 10 for me anyway. It's a lot better than just crossing it into the middle there. And well, Stoke, of course, they were pretty fuming, trying to push a lot of men forward, and well, resulting from that, Jordan Ibe would go through once again one-on-one. And I have no idea what Jack Butland is doing, but it is Jordan Ibe to make it 2-0 in this match. And very similar to the Norwich match, actually. We took an advantage, probably undeserved, late on in the match. And then we double it here with Jordan Ibe. And, you know, it's a result of the AI pushing men forward. I don't think that it's very smart how their legendary AI worked this year. I think they could code it a little bit better so that they don't always push forward, and sometimes they will actually just sit back and try and not concede more goals, because that was what was going to happen here. A bit of a scrappy goal there by Matt Wilczynski, but he claims it nonetheless. I don't know how that found its way into the back of the net. Pretty ridiculous if you ask me, but we made it 3-0 here, and that was just game over for Stoke. We had absolutely killed them in this match with all the pace and the ability that we did have in our side. Really don't know how that went into the back of the net from Matt Wilczynski. He claimed the goal though, got his first goal in a Portsmouth shirt, and I'm very happy with the way that the whole team did actually perform in that match. Another solid result, and this time a clean sheet to go by it. So a 3-0 result, Jordan Ibe, John Anthony Brooks and Matt Wilczynski getting on the score sheet. And in the end, a very solid result. But this is going to be the end of the episode, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed, and if you have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode, please be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already, as it really does help out my channel, guys, and it shows me that you are enjoying this series. But other than that, guys, I'm going to have to leave it there, and I'll see you next time for another video. Thanks for watching.